Hi, everybody. My name is Emily Benson, and I am a Public Health Preparedness Fellow. I'm currently a junior public health major at App State, and I am interested in going into global health and epidemiology.
Hi everyone, my name is Molly Fox. I am a senior public health major and I am also one of the 2020 to 2021 Public Health Preparedness Fellows.
Hi, I'm Laura Brady. I'm a public health preparedness fellow here at Appalachian State University. My major is public health with a chemistry minor, and my interests are public health dentistry.
I applied for this fellowship because I wanted to learn more about public health preparedness and learn how to use the skills that I had been learning in my public health classes and to help respond to the coronavirus pandemic.
I heard about the fellowship last year when I was taking a class with Jennifer. I came into our office hours just to kind of talk through some opportunities, and she mentioned to me that she was coming up with this sort of mastermind where we could work together with other students and kind of just learn, have a platform to learn from each other about public health response preparedness, specifically related to COVID. So it sounded like a really cool opportunity. So from then on, I was on the lookout for the application and I applied the second that it came out.
So through this fellowship, I was able to see public health applied through guest speakers, connect with my peers on a different level that had I not been given this opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to connect to those guest speakers or my faculty or my other peers in the way that we were able to, especially being such a close-knit group. It opened up more room for conversation.
So this fellowship is all about learning not only public health response preparedness in terms of COVID, but also just in general. So I thought what was really cool is it started off where we were mainly focusing on the competencies needed to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. So through that, we did case investigation and contact tracing trainings, and we were able to really talk about what is happening in real time in the field of those working on the front lines to help mitigate COVID. And that was so cool, and it was really interesting to learn all of the things that go into emergency response preparedness and how all of the skills can translate into a pandemic, all of the skills needed to respond to any disaster. And that was really unique and interesting. And what I like so much about this platform is we were kind of able to mold it into what we're looking for. So I would say we almost made a shift from just learning about COVID response preparedness to pretty much every type of response preparedness. We were able to talk to the emergency director here at App and just learn about his job in emergency response preparedness on a college campus, which was really cool to see how those competencies kind of translate just in the day-to-day. And we're even able to bring a speaker in who works as a dentist and see how she works in public health preparedness in the field of dentistry, which is something that I didn't even make a connection to before this. So this fellowship was really all about having conversations and being able to ask questions around what goes into responding to disasters and emergencies and just the day-to-day of public health.
In this fellowship, we have learned about what public health preparedness is. We have done contact tracing trainings. We've heard from other public health professionals in the field about their job, their responsibilities, and public health programs that they have been able to help implement. And we've also collaborated with each other and discussed public health problems going on in the world right now.
I would say what's been the most valuable throughout this fellowship has been being able to take what we're learning in our biweekly meetings and through the people that we've learned from and being able to apply it to the real world. So I think what I've learned actually even about myself is that I learn really well when I'm able to translate competencies into the everyday world and see what I could do with it to make an impact and to move forward. So even with the case investigation and contact training portion of this fellowship, we're able to take those ideas and competencies that we've learned and get a job with that in the future. So we're getting this amazing training, and then we're being presented with jobs where we could go and work to help with COVID response.
The most valuable part of this fellowship has been the guest speakers that have come to share their personal experiences as public health professionals with us. Personally, I learn a lot through hearing the experiences of others, so getting to hear from and talk with the individuals who have experience in the field has allowed me to become more prepared to go confidently into the field of public health in the future.
Okay, so for me, the most valuable thing is having such a strong support system, especially in COVID-19 and just everything that's happening in public health. It's nice to have those people to talk to and understand what's really going on in the real world. For future and application, I know that the peers, faculty, community members I've been able to connect with will allow me to connect deeper later in life with no matter what I end up doing. So because I can take those conversations that we've had and really grow and learn from them later in life. And right now, I can already tell a difference in being able to have a group to connect with at such an intimate level. It's really showed me how when I get out into the real world, out of school, I'm on my own, like maybe even I could do something like this where I am.
In the future, I hope to go to grad school for global health epidemiology and work to reduce inequities that exist among impoverished communities in the world. I can apply what I have learned in this fellowship through being further prepared to respond to any public health emergencies that might occur as I'm working in the field, and I can also better understand how to communicate effectively with the partners.
I would say another thing that's been really valuable has been the network that we've been able to build in this fellowship, just with the other fellows and with Jennifer. I feel so lucky that I've had a group of like-minded individuals that I've been able to collaborate with and receive advice and mentorship from this past year. Especially with COVID, it's been really nice to have a support network where I can come to them and ask questions and get advice, and we can talk about all things public health, and we all have a lot of the same interests, but a lot of other interests. And I've been able to get new ideas and gain new insight in the field of public health through them. I would say, aside from all of the great things I've been able to learn, I am really thankful and really value the connections I've made through this fellowship.
We are literally on our second to last mastermind meeting of the Public Health Preparedness Fellowship. And I am so excited to pass it immediately over to Amanda, who's going to tell us about herself. Amanda, you were requested to be here as a person that this group was interested in connecting and networking with. And part of that reason is, one, because you're amazing and a leader in public health in general, but also as a dentist, and because you've literally been responding to COVID-19 for the past year, both in a direct incident management capacity with Ashen Allegheny and Watauga, but also as a provider who went back into the office to deliver services during a pandemic, and services where you're literally in people's mouths.
My name is Amanda Stroud. I'm originally from Happy Valley, which is in Caldwell County, right after you go toward Lenore and pass by all of the lovely views. But I lived in Garner for about 21 years, and my family was ecstatic when I decided I was going to move back here to take a job doing federally qualified health center work. And I'm so lucky to be working with App Healthcare as our local health department and a federally qualified health center. It means that I take on a lot of stuff that's not necessarily within the direct realm of dentistry. A lot of dentists are open a tooth, put a filling in a tooth, see you later. And I'm not that kind of dentist. I appreciate the fact that there are that kind of dentists in the world, but I also love the fact that I'm not that type. I've got my hands on a lot of different things. And being a part of a public health leadership team, like Jennifer alluded to earlier, means that you do have your hands in a lot of pots. And I feel so fortunate that that's where I stand. So I wanted to share a PowerPoint that I had made for you all.
I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough of the website that we used for the Public Health Preparedness Fellowship. So this is a homepage that everyone can see when you access the website. So you can see our mission of exploring, creating, and learning with others in the public health workforce. There's a place where you can apply to be a fellow, where you can complete the trainings that we did, and then also just a little bit more information on what a mastermind is. There's also Jennifer's contact information and another section where you can apply. So we also have this Meet the Team tab, which is pretty cool. It talks about Jennifer, who is in charge of all of us in this fellowship. And then here is the 2020 to 2021 group of fellows. And then something that not everyone can see is this fellow site that only the other fellows have access to. And it has everything that you need to be a part of the fellowship. So if you click on learn more, it has just more information on exactly what we're doing. And then we also post videos for the other fellows if they're not able to make a meeting. So that's just a little insight into this site that we've been using this whole year. It's been really helpful and a really cool place to be able to all come together and keep up with information.
So, like I mentioned before, we've had so many great opportunities in this fellowship to do new things and collaborate and gain these real world skills and apply them. And part of this application has been speaking at conferences. And this past week, I was speaking at a conference with Jennifer and one of my co-fellows, Emily, and my internet connection was in and out and in and out and in and out. And I absolutely will never forget being at a conference with big, big names and just the feeling of, oh my gosh, I might not be able to speak. My internet might cut out. I am thankful for it because it's a good learning experience that not everything goes as planned, but definitely that is a good memory. I would also say just another thing that I will remember forever has been the great group of people that I've been able to work with. I have learned so much, and I will always remember the conversations that we've had and the advice that I've received and just kind of the great things I've learned from every single person that is a part of this fellowship. So all of it is memorable. Some of it is good, like getting to meet amazing people, and some of it is bad, like my internet going out at a national conference, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
The most memorable thing that has happened in this fellowship is when we had our very first meeting over Google Meet, and I could not find the end button to end the call over Google Meet. We had originally just been using Zoom, and this was our first time using Google Meet. And it was just Jennifer and I left in the meeting, and we were just sitting there laughing and staring at each other for what felt like a minute or longer until eventually I found the button that ended the meeting. So I will never again get locked and trapped in a Google Meet meeting because now I know where the end button is.
So the most memorable thing would be being part of the inaugural cohort in the middle of a pandemic.